I'm in the Williamson's Tunnel Cafe because I'm just waiting for my slot at 12:30. So lovely little cafe. Got some artwork on the wall. That looks quite interesting.
Oh, yeah.
And there's some pictures of old Liverpool, the trams, the docks, some of the souvenirs that you can buy here. And this chap here, I'll leave that on there, you can press pause to read it. But he does look quite scary. You know, let's go to wide, look at that. That's the outfits that he would have worn. She's a bit dodgy because she's got her hair down. And there's a little, and that's Joe the Mole, and he's called the Mole of Edge Hill.
Yes, so true, you can't turn up.
Old cabinets of moles.
That's his bag as well.
And apparently there's moles dotted around the tunnels.
Her bag.
So these are some of the artefacts that have been found when they've been digging the tunnels. Bits of cups, bits of glasses, bowls. Pipes, bottles. Is this him? And this is Mr. Williamson's tunnel. A very nice philanthropic man. Philanthropic. I'll get that word right in a minute. I'll get back to you on that. So that's what it looked like in 20 years ago. And that's all the work they've done in 20 years. This was all solid, full of Victorian rubbish. It's amazing, isn't it?
So it takes quite a while. But the reason we didn't want to work it already spotted was because of that tunnel down there. So I don't know if you can tell, but it's actually the same width as this one. We've just got some ball in front while we're working. But what you're looking at there is a tunnel that goes underneath the section where we were just standing, out into the stadium yard towards the road. Now that bit there actually hits a Victorian sewer at the end, so we're not going to get into that. What's interesting about it and why it was worth us digging out is to show you the map. So we're here and we're looking down and that's there. You see it leads to this. Now this was something we've been looking for a very long time, because that tunnel there is Joseph Williamson's triple decker. So when he built it, it was a tunnel, one tunnel. And now we reckon the top layer was probably about the height of Joseph car park when he came in. Yeah. It's probably about that high, so that's been damaged at some point over the years. But what we've got access to down there is what we think is the middle layer. And I say the middle layer because we've been digging down for quite a long time and we haven't actually hit the bottom of anything yet, so we're not quite sure. But we're working on the middle layer of that. So I said this was 1,000 tonnes we've cleared. We reckon there's about 8,000 tonnes left down there. So
wow.
It might take us a while. And I do realise there's nothing worse than me saying, oh, there's a really brilliant tunnel down there that you're not going in. Yeah. But it's a work in progress. We've put these staircases in. What we'd really like is in maybe about 12 months' time to get people down to just at least see the size of the triple decker. Because if you can imagine, it's about this wide, so it is worth it once you get people down to have a look at it. I suppose the bigger talking about the digging kind of big. So we're from Dartmouth, which isn't too far from Barnsley. When Joseph's father was 10, he moved the family to Warrington, and not long after that, Joseph's father died. And I suppose that's how it all starts really for 11-year-old Joseph, because he comes here to Liverpool to seek employment, and he gets a job with the Tates there to snuff and tobacco business. So the Tates have been family friends with the Williamsons back in Yorkshire, but their son had moved here a lot earlier, and by then he was quite successful snuff and tobacco merchant. So they said that Joseph could have a job in the firm, but his mother wouldn't let him have that when he was just 11 years old, unless he could also lodge in their family home with them. That's what he did. He worked his way up the business over the years. He did actually marry his boss's daughter and inherit her full fortune, which I think helps him. Yeah. Anyway, after building their own house, Williamson decided he was going to build more houses along Mason Street, he could lease out to quite wealthy tenants. And that is when we think he actually had quite a big problem. Because if you look at what he stands in here, can you see we've got sandstone walls with brick arch over the top. Now the records say that what we're standing in right now, for about 200 years before Williamson took that land at the top of the hill, had been designated as common land. So we think that the local people of Liverpool have been using it as a quarry. But being being common land, it wasn't really that regulated. It was kind of a case of if you want to build something, get some men together, get a bit of money, and then you can arrange to take the stone from basically wherever the quarrying's happening at the time. But can you imagine what that means for Joseph when he comes along after about 150 years of that and tries to build houses at the top of the hill? There's all these holes behind it where people are taking the stone away and it's very uneven. So we actually think that all of this, maybe in the early days, just started out as this, a tiny bright idea to claim back a bit of land. So very originally what we think would have happened is Williamson's men who got down to the bottom of the quarry. I just wanted to show you the unique, just to give you an idea of what we can do with when it comes to drinking ourselves. So what you're looking at there is basically years where other people's rubbish. We do find some quite interesting things in there, and as I said, I've got those problems to show you to get further around. Two questions I always get asked about when we're taking out the rubbish is what's the most valuable thing we juggle? I've got to be honest, I'm still waiting for Price's treasure down here. So providing a little bit about the returning lines we dig down. The other question I always get asked is have we found a dead body? So just to put you can still see Williamson's own church here in Edgehill if you want to though. It was, we call it All Saints now.
It's one of the little moles.
And I found out rooms when Joseph was alive, all the neighbours thought it was a secret tunnel that stripped from their living room to the church because when it rains on a Sunday, Mrs. Williamson got wet in the rain. That would be nice if we did. And the final thing just to do in this section is to just take a slightly closer look at this arch, only because I just think it shows you the skill of them working here when you think, I mean, they've cut the blocks by hand. Can you see they have dressed them? So every single block has got very nice uniform diagonal marks and makes trouble to make them more interesting.
These are all
and if you look closely, you know, I don't think we've got cement or mortar between the ends of these blocks. We've just got the minimum amount on the top.
literally just by hand tools.
But why I think that's worth noticing on a Joseph Williamson arch, I suppose, as much as any other arch you'll see, is only because I look at it and think it must give you a bit of a clue about the men working here, because we said maybe this was about men coming back to the Persian Wars, and a lot of those would have been unskilled. And I look at something like this and think, well, it couldn't have been built entirely by a workforce with no experience, you know, there must have been some sort of hierarchy. So I think perhaps Williamson started with masons and knew what they were doing on Mason Street, and perhaps they were training the workforce from there. So almost like people knew it wasn't just about coming to Joseph Williamson for a wage, but I guess a bit like a big scale apprenticeship that you can become and learn the skills on the job.
I don't remember the end of the short. Oh, I can sort of. Yeah. You're short too more.
Behind the wall there is another tunnel behind him.
So there's another tunnel there, and there's another tunnel there. So there.
There we go.
And you can see all the pick marks where it's dug by hand. This part's a quarry. And they've built a roof on the top there. So we're thinking that it was like a college for people returning back from war.
So today, like a communication tunnel from the quarrying, and then for some reason Williamson's come along and put those slabs in later for some reason. Point is more, I guess, that I'm sure every few hours as you go around, you'll keep spotting things where you think, why did they bother to build that? I mean, it might come back to job creation. I mean, certainly people came and earned a wage from Williamson to work on something like that. But I will tell you more stories about him as we go around. He's also the kind of man that builds something he can't explain. Yeah, and speaking of things you can't explain, it was sort of solid, and it stuck to it, and we're stuck with them. So nothing to do with Joseph Williamson, and also not the only one they put in. He did realise eventually that we put another pile in here. And to give you bearings, though, I reckon it's about there. So that there is the kitchen sink of number 62 Mason Street. So one of our guys will used to live up there when he was a student, so I'm quite sure it is in the house. But whoever lives up there now doesn't know you're wondering about what's in the kitchen right now. So one of our guys, John, so John, one of our guys, has been in since the very
Good thing my phone's got a torch on it.
Oh wow.
I mean, if you look at it, all the whole addition notice, it is bit more modern than that, but I think it's interesting. You get a good snapshot of what's been going on. It's got a little bit of past kind of 50 years or so. The most common things we find, number one is down that end, and you notice the oyster shells, and just find you just find it's actually one more that's quite sneaky, so you can see that. So we just find oyster shells every time we dig, just basically because the Williamson staying for a long time afterwards. They were cheap source of food, they called them poor man's fare or poor man's feast. It was easy to cook an oyster. In contrast, please, you've only found one very lonely coconut, which you like to tell yourself is very old, where ship's captain or something. Maybe a few bars with it on. So we say it was a very old where ship's captain. You see this, the oysters down there. Oh yeah. Probably not, just nice little contrast today, and how the oysters Williamson over everybody. Down that end, can you see all the three body jars I'm going to do is are actually jam jars. So can you see the turns them over to show you that a lot of people can hardly do down. And you can still get Harleys in the supermarket today, but yeah, the first factory here in Liverpool. You'll see that a lot of its early jars say Harleys of Aintree. And Mr. Harley actually didn't have a factory in Aintree, it was in Exactly. But apparently the Grand National Horsery started not long after it opened the factory, so he decided for some reason that sell jam better if you're Aintree on the jar, so it was known as Harleys of Aintree. I don't know if it works. We've got loads of big bottles down this end. Let me show you some of these bottles actually. So down at the front here, have you seen these kinds of
The round bottles,
yeah. Yeah, this was the thing, yeah. So I don't know if you've seen bottles like these before, with a fizzy drink. And you can see, if you look closely, you'll see they're actually marked Schweppes as well as the Liverpool company. They're quite heavy as well.
I'm alright, thanks.
Yeah, so they're real things that all around the world. Apparently, design like that, they still have them in India and Japan, still use some of the designs. So it kept its fizz. So, designed it like that so that you couldn't ever stand it up, so the escape apparently was the logic in it. I don't know how busy it kept people's drinks, but that was the idea. But then they moved on to these, which are still used in bottles of this. Thank you.
The marble bottles, is that?
Yeah, with a little glass ball in, a little washer. I've seen this before, so you fill it upside down like this, it will keep the pressure in. It's quite rare for us to find these whole because the kids used to smash them to collect the balls to play on these, but they turn up down again. But apparently this design of bottle, so as I say, we still use them in India and Japan, but it was an English design, and it was a company called Cods that designed them, and had lemonade in, and that's meant to be where we get the phrase Cods Wallop from, because people thought Cods lemonade wasn't as good as beer, and Wallop was the old name for beer, so they called it Cods Wallop. They kind of caught on to that phrase. And then a favourite bottle I think that we've ever found is this one, so can you see that that's a holding bottle? So I don't know if you already know the story of J.W. Holding. Another Liverpool man. He was a little bit later than Williamson, but he made his money from brewing. So he started off at the Standon pub, and then what else have we got? This really massive horseshoe.
big shower.
I know, so I mean, as I said, they were working stables here to pull the rubbish cart, but it was a working stable.
So this is one tunnel, and it's on top of another tunnel. You can't really see that, but that's a tunnel. That's the top of a tunnel, and there's another tunnel on the top. This is why apparently he built 3 tunnels at a time.